All right, everybody, welcome back. Hey, Sleeves, now we've crossed the midway point of the 2025 NPL season. And for weekend number 4, we'll have all the NPL teams together for the first time in Austin, Texas.
Yeah, I think we talked way back the first episode that this was the time of year where we would see who was really going to make a run. I think this is probably the time of year, specifically starting last month, even where you build momentum towards the championship weekend coming up this fall. So
Yeah. Now we're actually going to be in Northeast Austin in the suburb of Pflugerville, Texas. So we'll have matches at Pickle Land and Pickleball Kingdom, Pflugerville. I'm excited. This will be my first time ever in Austin, Texas, and I've certainly never been to Pflugerville. Sleeves, I know you're a well-traveled gentleman. Have you ever been to Austin or Pflugerville?
I've never been to Pflugerville, but I have been to Austin. My cousin lived in Austin for a bunch of years, so I would make my annual trip there to go listen to some live music and eat some barbecue. So, but it's been a while. I have not been there probably in about a decade now. So,
Okay. Well, just as a side note, I just want to mention Austin's often compared to Columbus, Ohio. They have similar population size. They're both state capitals, have major universities downtown, growing boom towns, big art scene. River runs through the downtown area. So I'm excited to check it out. You know, we've got the Columbus Hotshots going to Austin in the beginning of August to hopefully win the big check. And then the Texas Longhorns are going to Columbus at the end of August, August 30th, to play the Ohio State Buckeyes. So hopefully
whoa.
Columbus wins in Austin and the Ohio State wins in Columbus at the end of the month.
Yeah, so I don't even know because the Big Ten is like the Big 100 now. I don't even know what is Texas in the Big Ten now. I don't even know.
I don't know now either. I'm ever since 2020, I'm all pickleball. I don't follow anything else. I'm all about pickleball.
It's hard to keep track. Like you get all these West Coast teams and other places coming to like all these mega conferences. I forget who's in the damn conference now.
Oh, I know. It's crazy. All right, let's talk NPL. That's why the people are
Yeah.
here. All right, let's look at the season standings. I've got it pulled up right here. So we have Seattle Tsunami, first place, 10-2. We got Coachella Valley Scorpions, 9-3, second place. We got Princeton, Columbus, and Austin at 7-5. OKC Punishers, 6-6. Then 7th, 8th, 9th, we have Indy, Houston, and Naples, all 5-7. Kansas City and Boca at 4-8, and Denver at 12th place at 3-9. So we've got this weekend, this important weekend number 4. We've got some, 5 teams with winning records, but I think this is a case where Princeton and Columbus, can they hold on to their top 4 playoff seeding? Because if you remember, the top 4 teams, when they head to the October playoffs, get a first round bye, or this is a good chance for teams like
Huge.
Austin and Oklahoma City to kind of move their way up if they have a good weekend.
Right. And I don't think there could be enough emphasis put on that just for, at this point in the season, wear and tear in the body, wear and tear mentally, and just not having to play another match. And, if you're a favorite, having a chance to get upset. So super important, I believe, to get the bye if you can do it.
Yeah, that's right. All right, let's talk about some matchups here. So
Yeah.
first thing, Saturday morning, we've got the headline matchup, of course, is Seattle, number 1 Seattle versus number 3 Princeton. That's the headliner matchup. Heavy hitters across the board there. But what I want to see, what I'm going to keep my eye on most is number 2 Coachella versus number 6 Oklahoma City Punishers. This is an interesting matchup. Coachella has an established men's Pod 1 with NPL superstars Cord Robbins and Marcin Rozpinski. And Oklahoma City uses a different approach. They kind of got 4 guys that they interchange in that Pod 1. They've got Shea Coker, John Hostetler, Patrick Cote, and NPL rookie Blake Arrett. So they can mix and match those guys around, and those guys all have different styles too. You got Shea Coker and Blake. Those guys hit the ball as hard as anybody in pickleball. Then you got contrasting Patrick Cote, plays more of a softer, methodical game, get to the kitchen and work you back and forth in that kitchen like a master of paintbrush. And then you also have John Hostetler. He likes to control the tempo, but he also can hit it as hard as anybody. He can, if he needs to hit it hard, he'll hit it hard, but he can also control the game by all of his experience. So you combine those 4-headed monster for Pod 1, combined with the other three men's guys from Oklahoma City, you've got Steve Dawson, you've got Laurent Young, and GM Mark Milner. You have 7 excellent, selfless, interchangeable guys that makes Oklahoma City very tough and unpredictable to play. And their women's, they do about the same thing on the women's side also. So they are a very, very tough team to play against.
Yeah, I think that's a great sort of philosophy. And again, I don't know if that was, intentional on the draft, but as you know, people come and go all season, whether they can make an event because they have something else going on in their lives or an injury or an illness or whatever it happens to be. And if you are not locked into a particular duo, it's nice to have that flexibility, particularly this time of season when, people are breaking down a little bit. We're not 25 anymore. So to have that kind of flexibility, and Cote, that guy's just a reset machine. He resets as well as anybody I've seen at the pro level, all pro levels.
Yeah, he often has 2 hands on the paddle,
right.
and he works his way up, and he's not afraid to put the ball away. If you leave a high against him, he'll definitely put it away, but he will pick his shots, and he is an extremely efficient player. Fun to watch.
Yeah. Fun to watch for sure. Absolutely. He's sort of one of those, oh shucks guys, super nice to you, and then he's beating you, and you're like, what
the heck? Yeah, he is a fun guy to hang out to. Yeah, he's definitely a fun guy. So Coachella beat OKC in weekend 1 on a point differential tiebreaker. So OKC will be looking for revenge. It's big. If OKC can start the weekend with a big win over Coachella, they'll put themselves right in the thick of a top 4 playoff chase. If they lose, it could be a start to a long, long weekend.
Yeah, I think obviously this is more weighted for OKC. That doesn't mean Coachella won't obviously play hard. They want to love to kind of obviously get the number 1 seed and all that. But I like OKC in this particular situation because they really need it badly, and they, like you just mentioned, they need to get off to a good start, and you're taking a swing at one of the top 2 teams here, so and to just lose basically a match that close earlier in the season, I guess if I had to pick, I like OKC in this case.
I think I might agree with you, but it is really a close call. So it'll be fun to watch and follow along with.
Yeah, coin flip.
Saturday afternoon, we have got a lot of great matchups. Number 3, Princeton against number 2, Coachella. Number 8, Houston against number 6, OKC. But all eyes will be on number 1, Seattle against number 9, Naples, where we can see if Naples can continue the current longest winning streak in the National Pickleball League against the number 1 team in the National Pickleball League.
Right.
Sleeves, we talked about Naples JBB United so much last podcast, deservedly so. But you think of those Naples players with all the publicity they received, the press demands for interview requests, red carpets they walked in the past month. They won that big paycheck. Lord only knows what they spent that money on. Do you think Naples will be able to get back their focus on what's important, which is NPL pickleball? Or do you think their newfound celebrity status will go to their heads?
I actually think they will maintain their focus. And I think part of it is going to be because Seattle is coming off a match, I believe, against Princeton earlier that day, aren't they?
Yes, sir.
And to follow that up and to keep that energy against a team like Naples that is surging, and that is kind of a team full of, as we talked about, OGs that know how to win and know how to win big matches. The Sperlings of the world and Carges of the world and Onsens and all of them, and Atkins. It's just a tough squad. So I'm on the Naples train here.
All right, very interesting. When I play basketball, a lot of times coaches will say the most important part of the game is the first 4 minutes of the third quarter, right after halftime. NPL, you only have 20 matches. 20 team battles all season, so everyone's important. But a really important matchup is the Saturday afternoon matchup. A lot of teams head out to a team dinner Saturday night. So if you win that Saturday afternoon matchup, even if you lost the morning, everyone's feeling good. So half the teams in NPL, when they head to their Saturday night dinner, they're feeling good. The other half are thinking, oh boy, if this thing, especially if they win 0-2, they could say this weekend could get away from us in a hurry. They might be worried about their play, worried about the matchups for the next day. So this Saturday afternoon is a fun matchup to watch. If you can watch it online or in person, it's very, very critical, especially teams start out 0-1 or 1-0. You know, you can look to, if you win that Saturday, you think you might have an undefeated weekend. So it's fun to see the dynamics of how that all works out.
Yeah, and I think you point out a good part is a good point. It's you kind of see how fragile the human psyche is. I mean, these are all people who have played a very high level, a professional level. But you're right. We sort of, as humans, we have this like, what just happened last to us? A perfect example here is, Princeton playing Coachella late on, day one, two phenomenal teams, and somebody's going to lose. And somebody's going to feel like, pretty shitty at dinner, excuse the language. And so that's the thing. It's like, I think we find out kind of where the grit comes, and which teams have that grit and which teams can go, okay, we fought hard, we didn't win. Let's have a positive dinner here and talk about the things that we can fix. And so it's kind of an interesting test in psychology.
That's right. That's a good point. The pleasantries are over. We've had the first half of the season's done. We're heading on 2 regular season weekends left, and then we have the championships in October. So it's down to, look, everybody's fighting. We got to get the best playoff spot we can, and let's go out there and play our hardest. And we don't want to be disappointed come Saturday dinner.
Right. Absolutely.
All right, Sunday morning, we have number 5 Austin against number 1 Seattle. Now, we've danced around this issue before, but let's discuss the pink elephant in the room. Is there a curse of the NPL hometown event? In June 2024 season, the Columbus Hotshots had their worst weekend ever when they hosted an event. They went 0-3. Houston Hammers, we went 1-3, sorry. Houston Hammers went 1-3 at home this season. They went 1-3 at home last season. And this season, Denver and Kansas City both went 0-4 at home when hosting their home events. When you've got an advantage playing at home, you think you'd have an advantage. You're playing at home, your home courts, hometown crowd, sleep in your own bed, but you've also got that pressure. All those fans are there. Your adrenaline's high. You got events to plan. You got dinners to coordinate before the weekend even starts. And sometimes when Saturday morning rolls around, you're exhausted and you haven't even played a match yet. Right. What do you think about the hometown curse of the NPL?
I think it's real. I really do. I think those statistics show there is a definite pattern going on here. And I think it's about a lot of the things you just talked about. I almost think like you somewhat can't relax in this league because it is so tight. You look at a team that's near the bottom and a team that's near the top, and then you read the lineups and you're like, man, there's not all that much difference here. A couple team breakers, people gone, your lineup changes a little bit. It just messes with chemistry. So my point is it's tight, and I think you sort of keep an edge when you go on the road, at least in this league. That seems to be the case. Now, can Austin change that? It's tough to change against Seattle, the team that's number 1, the next in day 2 of this. So I'd like to see Bobo and the boys and gals kind of see if they can do something here. But, man, I don't know. I think it's a tough pattern to change. And if they change it, great. I think that's a great piece of momentum for them building into the last regular season coming up next month and then into the playoffs. So they really sort of have an opportunity here, I think, to kind of snap that and then go, hey, we've got some confidence because we're the ones who snapped it.
Yeah, that makes sense. You mentioned something there about NPL players is different from most professional sports leagues. Now, you hear some stories when some NBA teams or NFL teams go on the road and some of the wild parties and things like that have. But these NPL, it doesn't get a whole lot wilder than, meet at the hotel lobby, maybe play some euchre or some other card games for a little bit, and everyone tucks in at 9 o'clock because they know they've got early matches in the morning. So I haven't heard of any many, if any, stories of people going out, drinking and things like too much, things like that. Everyone's there to have a good time and fun, but they're all professional athletes. Every match shows up on your permanent record on Duper, so everything's important. So I'm not, people aren't going to chance anything by staying up late or things like that. So you go away from home, sleep in a different bed. You could be in bed by 9, 10 o'clock. You get a great night's sleep, and you show up early, warm up, and ready to go. But you did mention something. I think if anybody's going to break the hometown curse, I'm going to put my money on Craig Bobo and the Austin McKnight. Now, Craig is a rock steady player who's overcome some injuries this year and is playing awesome right now. He's also the GM of Pickle Land, where we're having NPL matches. So you want to talk about home court advantage. He knows those courts as well as anybody. Craig's also, nicest guy. Will give you the shirt off his back. Craig's one of the best representatives of the NPL. Austin McKnight has missed some players the last few weekends, but they're back at full strength with Katri Bozer, Chip James are back. Austin McKnight is recovered, rested, hometown, ready to make a move up the NPL standing. Sleeves, what do you think? Austin McKnight, yes or no?
I think I do. I don't know if they necessarily win the weekend, but I don't think they're a 1-3 or 0-4 this weekend. Worst case, I think they're 500, which with this pattern is not bad, considering at home.
And I agree with you. I don't know if they've got, especially with the home, I don't know if they've got enough firepower to upset the Seattle Tsunami, number 1 ranked, but I think that they'll put up a good showing this weekend.
Yeah, and I think they got to take care of business day 1, because day 2, as you look, they play Seattle and they play Coachella. You don't want a heavy 0-2 going into day 2 and having to face the 1 and 2 seed. Not that they can't do it, because they're the 5. I think they're the 5 seed right now. But considering some of the things you mentioned, they fought hard to be the 5 seed, and they're right on the cusp of trying to get into that top 4. So they've got a lot to play for here. So nothing would surprise me.
All right, let's round out Sunday afternoon. We've got America's team, the Columbus Hotshots, taking on the Indy Drivers, a rematch from weekend number 1. Now, Columbus won first matchup 7-5. Indy was missing. They kind of had a jumbled lineup. Rich Lopez hadn't made it to Columbus yet, so he wasn't there. They had another player get injured, so NPL super sub Bernie Buckland jumped in, played great with some tough Pod 1 matches. But Indy should have all their stars there playing this weekend. But the Hotshots women played really, really well weekend number 3, and they started to gel together as a team. You got Natalie Bagby, Natalie Shaw, Laura Thornton, Kim Nelson, Renee Chang, Catherine Gillis, Beth Olivier. They present tough matchups for any team in the NPL. I think the Hotshots are geared up for a big, big weekend number 4.
Yeah, and we'll see, because Indy kind of had, like you mentioned, their momentum sort of disrupted by some people that were missing. It looked like they were kind of making a move, then some people are gone and things happen, and didn't have a great week last time, and now trying to rebound again. And that's kind of how this league works. Can you continue to maintain momentum, and when you lose it, can you get it back? I think this is a classic matchup, obviously, for two teams. Really trying to get to that spot where they can get a bye. And obviously your Columbus Hotshots are in that position right now. So I look for a very tight match. And for me, matches like this are what I call a coin flip. It can go either way.
Yes, sir. Well, that's great analysis. Sleeves, as we start to wind down the podcast, do you have a prediction who will win weekend number 4 and be holding up that giant check on Sunday afternoon?
Yeah, I actually think it's going to be Coachella. I have not really pushed them this season as being a team, and they've proven me wrong every single week. And they're consistently there, and they're in the number 2 spot. And I think they want a shot at being the number 1 seed. So I actually look for Coachella to kind of go on the road, go to Texas, California, going to Texas. We know there's a rivalry always there, and taking care of business.
So Coachella has Oklahoma City, number 3 Princeton. Who else they have? They've got, I know we just mentioned it. They've
Austin
got
McKnight,
Naples, and they've
And Austin.
got Austin. So if
Yeah,
Coachella, if they come out ahead on this weekend, that's a bold prediction. If they come out on this weekend, if they win the check this weekend, it would not be out of the ballpark to say that they are the favorites to win the National Pickleball League, because those are 4-4 tough matchups. Sleeves, you think that they are primed, kind of gelling right at the end of the season. So that's interesting pick. And if they do it, if you're right, I think they're going to be the team to beat for the rest of the year.
Yeah, and I'm trying to set myself up here. So if they can pull this off and make me look good, we all know where the championship is, and we all know the curse of the home court. So we'll see.
That's right. Come Seattle in October. Current number 1 ranked Seattle in October.
Right.
3 days of pickleball action.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, just a reminder to everyone to follow along with the NPL action on the Baller TV app, NPL YouTube, pickleballteamleagues.com. Like and subscribe to this, the Shots Fired podcast, the Columbus Hotshots YouTube channel. Sleeves, anything else you want to plug?
Yeah, well, I think we should plug the other podcasts that are sort of talking about NPL. Obviously, they've kind of they had a mid-season, the NPL, some of the old folks from last season that did the NPL podcast, the professor and PT and the professor kind of came back and did a little mid-season deal. And who else? We mentioned another one prior. That's
Carabeth Lee for Seattle Tsunami.
Correct.
She has a great, not
channel.
just NPL, great channel. I think it's Pickleball Prescription. So she has matches on there. She's got training videos on there. She's got NPL analysis. She does a very, very good job of video production and editing her videos, and they've got great analysis. Our good buddy Daniel Gold's on there. We need to have him as a guest on sometime. But they're all good. Molly Carter does analysis on there. So it's great. I love people talking about the NPL. That's why we're here. We're talking about senior pickleball. We're talking about NPL. So I encourage everybody who enjoys NPL to follow her channel, follow our channel, certainly follow the NPL YouTube channel, and certainly follow Sleeves YouTube channel.
Yeah, like you mentioned, there's a lot of good stuff out there. And it's interesting to see other people's points of view on analysis and matchups, and not just our own. So get out there and watch them all. They're worth the time. And it's a great league, and everybody's celebrating it in their own way. So check out everybody's work out there.
Sleeves, now, before we go, I know that you were extremely popular before we started this podcast with your paddle reviews, your movie stardom, podcast duties. But you have to admit, you've developed a larger fan base since we started the Shots Fired podcast. As I sort through the fan mail that we receive every week, the most asked question by far that we get is, will Sleeves be at an NPL event this season? What do you think, Sleeves?
It's going to be tough. My best chance actually would have been the Austin event, but my plans have changed. My route to the Midwest has changed because I have to drop a friend off that needs some medical care. But it's going to be tough for me. This will be the first season, I know there's only been 2, that I will probably have a tough time making an event. But I'll make it up next season. I will try and hit 2. I think season 1 I hit 2. Last year I hit 1. This year I'm not going to be able to make it. But, doing my part here, trying to help out the league and promote it best I can.
I appreciate that. I certainly didn't want to put you on the spot, but yeah, you always have a place to stay in Columbus. I think you got friends in Austin. You got friends throughout the league. So, a quick flight. If you got a couple of days sometime, we'd love to see you at events. You're a big ambassador for senior pickleball, and especially the NPL. So I appreciate all you do. Just one more thing I got to say. Sleeves, if you would please tell the people at home what we need them to do.
Hey, folks, let's pickle.